Hey, Scott Austin here. In this episode, I'm going to show you examples of when I've added functionality to a store without using an app. Instead, all the things that I'm going to show you were done by editing the theme. So let's start off with my explaining a little bit about apps in your Shopify store. In general, apps are great. Every store is going to be running several apps to add functionality and enhance the shopping experience. And the Shopify App Store has many, many apps. You can find an app for just about anything. But for some site enhancement, an app is not the only solution. Another alternative could be editing the theme and adding the functionality there. Now, the huge difference between an app and a theme edit is that an app can call the API, which is a technical way of saying interface, of another server outside of the Shopify ecosystem. And this is important for complex tools like email, where you need to store all the customer data gathered somewhere. So there are many instances where you will have to go with an app for a solution. Things like email, shipping rules, reviews, loyalty, and many more complex services need to be done via an app. But not every improvement is that complex. We can forego an app if these requirements are met. 1, no need to access external servers. 2, the improvement is on the front end or the layout of the website. In other words, if the code can be contained in the theme. So why would you want to skip an app and add the customization to your theme? Well, the biggest reason that I see is when a store's needs are not met by an app. Most store owners have had the experience of finding what they think is the perfect app, only to later find out that it doesn't support a key feature needed for your business. It's very hard for an app to cover every single possible scenario. When your needs exceed an app's flexibility, then you might want to add the functionality to the theme. Also, many apps have a specific way of doing things. For example, I was installing an app into a client store the other day, and the customer dashboard is only available in a pop-up or modal. And that doesn't fit in well with the customer experience of the rest of the store. All the other dashboards and interfaces were presented in pages, so a store may opt to add functionality to the theme to keep the customer experience consistent and support the brand. But adding functionality to a theme is going to take some technical knowledge. The minimum requirement is someone that is versed in HTML, CSS, and Liquid. Additionally, any functionality that requires customer interactivity on the page is going to require JavaScript. So if your store doesn't have an in-house web developer, then you'll need to find one. There are plenty of Shopify experts out there that can help you with this, including, of course, Jade Puma. Let's shift gears now to showing you functionality that I've added to my client stores by adding code to the theme. For those that are more visual, I'll include a link to the video in the show notes. Let's dive in. The first customer here is Authentic Vintage Posters. And just like their name says, they sell really old posters. So on the product page, there's a couple enhancements that we made to the theme. The first one is these product seals. I've got some SVG files that I use for product seals, and that allows me to change the color of them using CSS, which I can do in theme settings. So let me show you how that works. Here I am in the back end on theme customization, and I can see the product seals right here. And over under theme settings, I've added some functionality under a bucket called Jade Puma Elements. And I have color selectors there for the different colors of these product seals, and also a couple other settings. So for example, I could say I want the highlight color, which right now, or the primary color, which the text is in white. Let's say I wanted to make that red. I can select the color selector, and in one click, it's now red across the entire site. I also have the ability to have these outlines, so I can change the shape and look and feel of the product seals so they don't look like other stores, right? The whole goal here is to make the product seals fit into the brand of the given store. So if I wanted to, right now I have the background color set to the same background color as the store, which gives these, a cleaner look and feel. But if I change that to a different color, I'm just going to pick a random blue. You can see now that I've got this scallop background on my product seals. And I can change that outline to be just a regular circle, or I could also change it to be a starburst. And I can also change the size of the product seals on desktop and separate setting for on mobile, and also the spacing between them. So with this functionality, I can change these product seals to map to the exact brand of this store. And what's nice is I've built this code in a way that makes it reusable for me, and I can use it in other client stores and then customize it for them also. So I have one library of product seals that I keep adding to as customers come up with new product seals that I didn't have before. And then I add the code in, and through these different settings and theme settings, I can make each one unique to that store's brand. Another thing we did on the product page in Authentic is the tags are clickable and link off to a filter. You can see the whole collection of the catalog filtered by that tag. Usually in a store, I'm not a fan of clicking off of the product page to other products. But here in Authentic Vintage Posters, where there's hundreds and thousands of posters that people are browsing through, and each one is very unique, we want more of that serendipity of the browse experience. Therefore, we added the "you may also like" element, but we've got this custom code here, and you can see as I hover over any one of the tags, I can see it highlighted, and that tells me that I can click on it. And if I click on Italy, it'll take me to all of the posters that are from Italy in this store. And if I click on any one of those, I can see all the other tags that apply to it. So let's say I'm looking for things from 1950 to 1959. I can click on that year grouping, and there I am looking at all the things from the 50s in this store. One last customization we did for this store is we promoted free shipping within the theme and not in an app. So up here in the top bar, this is the Flex theme, which has a top bar element. I've added a control. So if we go back to the Shopify admin and look under that Jade Puma section, I've got some settings for free shipping, a checkbox that turns it on or off, whether we show it or not, and a slider for what the dollar amount is. Now, we didn't choose to count down on that top bar element. It just says free shipping on USA orders over $250. So if you add a $100 item to the cart, it doesn't say only $150 to free shipping. We've seen some research that shows that countdowns on free shipping can make the brand seem a little more carnival-like and a little less high quality. So we're going for the high quality approach, let's say the Nordstrom type of approach. We don't count down the free shipping. What we do is if you do add a product that exceeds the free shipping, and that threshold is set in our settings, right? I just added a $1,900 product to my cart, which is over the $250 threshold, and now I've got a promotion in the cart that says this order has free USA shipping. So we've added the ability to promote and then reinforce in the cart when they've exceeded that threshold, the free shipping, by just editing the theme. Let's move on to the next store, Rhino Power. Rhino Power, I've got a bunch of customizations in. And the first one is the product seals, which we talked about before in Authentic. So let's just show you what those look like, because they look completely different here. So on this one here, the brand colors are black, white, and yellow. We went very black, white, and yellow with the product seals. So it's very authentic to this brand. A little less background in these, and so they just pop a little bit more. And the nice thing is, because it's SVG files, and I can edit that through CSS, and I was doing that through the theme settings before, I can also override that. So on the home page, we decided to put the product seals up with a black background instead of a white background. And then just a couple lines of CSS, we changed the black text to white text. So it was super easy to show it one way on the product page and then an inverse on the home page. Another thing we've done in Rhino Power is done a cart upsell. So let's go to the cart. I've already got a product in there. And our upsell is, I consider this like an impulse purchase, the end cap on the checkout aisle. So this is a Factory Iron Logo 2-pack. It's only $6. And most people are coming to the store and they're buying the nutritional products, the supplements for their athletic performance. So what we decided to do in the impulse items, the upsells in the cart, is have brand items. So people aren't probably shopping for the brand elements because they're looking for the supplements. But if we promote them in the cart, what we've found is people actually like them. And then this becomes a brand play, an influencer play, where now the customer's buying this Factory Iron On logo for only $6, and they apply it to their jersey or whatever, in their athletic performance, and now they're representing the brand. And the nice thing about this is we've stacked up a couple different promotions. So the first one is for the Factory Iron logo. If I add that to the cart, I now see that's in the cart, and the promotion moves on to the next item, which is the factory sticker kit. Once again, this is a brand element promoting Rhino Power across the ecosystem. So if I add that to the cart, it shows in the cart, and now that's all we've got is 2 items stacked up inside of the cart promotions. And this, just like we were showing you on Authentic, what I've done in Rhino Power is I've got a setting in the back end when I go to theme customization under theme settings for Jade Puma elements. So in my Jade Puma elements, wrong one on this one. So this is a online store 2.0 theme. So I was actually able to make that a section inside of Shopify, cart simple cross-sell section, and all the settings are held within that section. Sometimes I've got to put settings inside of theme settings under Jade Puma elements, and that's when I'm going to use those settings in more than one place, right? We saw that in Authentic where I had a cart threshold for free shipping. Well, I used that in 2 different places. I used it in the top bar, and I used it in the cart. So because I'm going to use that in multiple places, I've got to store those settings centrally. But with this cart simple cross-sell element, all the settings that I set can be within the section because I'm not going to use those settings elsewhere. So in the cart simple cross-sell section, you can see I've got the product defined, some content, the upsell text, the marketing text, and I'm allowing up to 3 products, but we just didn't select a 3rd product. So when we added both to the cart, the element just hit itself. And the nice thing is if I go back and remove one of these elements from the cart, I have to refresh the page, and it shows up again. It promotes the item. So it's smart enough to know what's in the cart, what's not in the cart, and promotes items appropriately. Another thing we did for Rhino is they've bucketized their products into 3 groups. And you can see that here, right there. Before your activity, during your activity, and after your activity. So we also allow people to design their own package. And we bucketize that in before, during, and after. So if they click on design your own package, this is a collection page that shows all the products that fit into the before bucket. And you'll notice at the top, we've got this header up here of step 1, before, step 2, during, step 3, after, and step 4, review your order. So we're allowing them to walk through those 3 steps. And let's say they want to add, one of these products to their cart. We then give them a modal that says, do you want to stay on before? Are you still on step 1? Or do you want to move on to step 2, go to during? So they can add more than one product from each step into their order. So let's say they're done with step 1. They want to go to during. And they can click on a product here, say add to cart. That same modal pops up. And let's say they want to stay on during at this time and look at the other products. And if they decide, there's none of the other ones here that I want to do, right on that collection page, we allow them to go to step 3. So there's a button there and in the modal. So we give them multiple opportunities to step through this purchase process, step by step, getting all the products they want. And then when they're done, they can review their order and they see there are different products in the cart that they were, added through this hand-holding experience. So this is really nice when you have a linear shopping experience where you've got to pick piece, one first, and then two, and then three, or multiple items from each one of those levels. It's really hard to do this without walking the people through the process step by step. A lot of people try to do this on the product page or with bundles, which is a perfectly fine way to do it. But I find this very linear approach, and I've talked to you before about linear shopping experiences. This is another example of linear shopping experiences. So let's move on now to the Game Steward, and they sell Kickstarter-backed board games. And what we found in building out this site and researching the customers, when customers ordered more than one product in their order, usually those products were from the same game collection. So we came up with a concept of game collections and incorporated it throughout the shopping experience in this store. So an example of a game collection, let's just look at Zombicide here. And you can see there's multiple games that are under this collection of Zombicide. And I'm looking at the collection now. I'm just going to pick on any one of these games. And what we've done on the product page is let customers know that, hey, this game is part of a game collection. And it's a Marvel Zombies is the game collection, right? So what we did is every product name started with Marvel Zombies. And we actually, in code, I broke it up. There's actually a dash. So the collection name for this, or the product name for this product is Marvel Zombies dash Class of the Sinister Six. So in code, we pull out the dash and put that onto two different lines. But now we know that this product is part of the game collection of Marvel Zombies. Now, this is where doing things in the theme can be a little bit tricky, right? It is coded in such a way that if there's a dash in the title, then we split the title and call the first half the game collection and the second half the product title. So you have to follow that taxonomy. But because this is a theme edit and not done in an app, we can't enforce that in any way. So you have to have a really diligent team. You have to define your taxonomy well and have a team that follows it really well. But now that we know that this game is part of a collection, we do a lot of different things with that. The first one is, here we have a link that says shop all Marvel Zombie games. So there's logic in the code that says, if this game is part of a game collection, show a game collection promotion right there. And it's right under the add to cart button. And if I click on that, you'll see that I go to a unique view of the collection. So these are all the different games in that collection. You can see there's a whole bunch of them. But the view that I'm looking at is what I call a spreadsheet view. So on the collection page, I can check the box for more than one of these games. Right now, I just checked for 3 of them. And on the collection page, I can add those selected items to the cart. So I don't have to go in and out of multiple different product pages and add them individually. I can do them in bulk straight from this special collection page. Some other things we do to promote collections is at the bottom here, you'll see we have, remember I talked before, I don't like cross-promoting randomly on a product page, but on this product page, we're showing other games that are in this collection. So maybe they don't want this version because there's so many different versions that people have to get straight. So we're letting them know, hey, there's other versions. Do you want to see that whole collection? And what we also do is we show the games that are in stock and out of stock. So let me show you another collection. This game collection here, whose name I never pronounce right, Cthulhu Wars. On that collection, there's some products that are out of stock. So let's go to an out of stock one. And I can see this one here is all sold. We can also get the restock alerts. We put the restock alerts right on the collection page from the Klaviyo restock capability. Now I click on this out of stock one. And once again, I can do the Klaviyo pop up to add myself to the notification. But we also have the Shop All Cthulhu Wars games element on there and more in the footer. And the footer element only shows games that are in stock, none of the out-of-stock ones. So even though this game is not available right now, we allow them to opt in for it and see all the other games that are part of the same game collection. Now let's add a product to our cart from this game collection. So I'm going to add that pre-order to cart. And then what we do in the cart is we say, hey, you've got one game from this collection. Do you want to look at and add any other games from that same collection? So you'll notice I have a Cholulu Wars product in the cart, and all the other promotions on that cart page are Cholulu Wars. Now, if I got rid of that Cholulu Wars and went and added a product from another game collection, so that Zombicide collection, add a product to the cart, then that cart promotion is only going to show Zombicide games. And if we have more than one game in the cart, it'll show from the multiple collections. And it's just highlighting products that are actually in stock right now. So that's how we've done the game collection promotion inside of the Game Steward. Now, the next one I'm going to show you is Mulberry Park Silks. They sell silk sheets, and what they do is they provide a lot of content, a lot of information about the products to their customers. So they have really long, detailed, informative product pages. They've got videos, they've got infographics, they got photos, they got text, all sorts of good stuff going on. I just love how much content is on these. But the content they wanted to add, there wasn't enough tools in the theme toolbox to add them. Now, they're working on the Flex theme here, but it's before Online Store 2.0. So it's a little more difficult to build out a rich content page. So what we had to do is add a lot of new types of sections and elements and blocks to the theme to get them to do that. And because their product pages are so long, we wanted the ability for people to quickly get back to the Add to Cart button if they're scrolling down and kind of get lost in the depth of the page. So here I'm scrolling on this page, and you can see as soon as the Add to Cart button went off the screen, I have an Add to Cart button show up in the footer. And if I click on that, it takes me back up to the top to the Add to Cart. Now, it doesn't add the product to the cart because this product has variants. So we want to make sure they double check the selections that they're making before they add it to the cart. But that Add to Cart button is a nice way when somebody scrolls down, this page scrolls a long, long way. It's a nice way for them to get back to that top and easily get back to that purchase process. Another customization we've done here is we have product seals, which we've talked about a couple of times, and we're able to control the colors of those. And we also have product tabs. So this was a custom element. A lot of people who like product tabs will get an app to do that. We've built it into the theme, and there's a whole bunch of logic behind it that the store staff knows how to use to manage it. And then if I go into the back end of this store and open up this page, this product page in theme customization, what you see, because this is before Online Store 2.0, there's the main sections for the product page of product and recommended products and product sidebar. And then there's a section that we custom developed called Silk Sheets Info. And this has tons of blocks that we created and blocks that do a whole bunch of things that weren't built in to this theme. All right, so this is where we got the ability to add in tabs and all the other things we're doing. So let me show you a couple other of the customizations we added. So we just talked about tabs. Another one is, so this theme does a really good job with an image and text. An image with text, but it didn't do a good job with images that were different dimensions. So Mulberry Park, didn't have all their images in the exact same sizes. So we had to go through and redesign this theme element so that it was more accepting of different sized images. So what we did is we said, all right, we're going to cap the height of the image, and we're going to make the width of it dependent, based on the aspect ratio of the photo, so that this element in the theme normally would be really, really tall because it's a portrait photo, but we made it scale that image height to the same as the other images so they look a lot more uniform. So that's one example of customization we did based on their needs. Another one was we didn't have the ability to add a really wide text box with a small image element, so we added that one in. And then they also wanted the ability to have more than one photo side by side. But on mobile, we wanted them stacked. So we had to have an element that allowed that. So you can see we went in and added lots of new sections, or actually in this case blocks, to the custom section that we built that allowed them to present all the different information that they had. And the way we did that is we first looked at all of their content, right? We decided what content they wanted to show on the page and then how we wanted to show it. And then we went out and built all those building blocks into the theme so that they could do that. So let's move on to the next store, which is Sugar Feather. And what we did for Sugar Feather is we allowed them to, in their store, have a wholesale experience in the same store that the consumers are looking at. So here, if I go to a Belgian linen, they sell pillows. I can see all the different pillows and look at them by design and price and color and all that good stuff. But what happens is if I log in, and before I log in, I'm going to show you here, right? The main menu ends in colors and sale. Those are the last two elements of the main menu. So now I'm going to log in, and the account that I'm logging in with is tagged as a wholesale customer. So I log in, and right here on the account page, we let the customer know that, hey, this is a wholesale account, and your wholesale prices are going to be reflected throughout the shopping experience. But you'll also notice I have a new menu item in the main menu, Quick Order. So what Quick Order allows wholesale customers to do, because wholesale customers are buying in bulk, right? They can look at the different colors. Let's say they want to look at the ocean pillows, and they can go to the Quick Order page. So this is that spreadsheet view I was talking about before with the Game Steward, right? So one of the things you're probably noticing here is I've got a bunch of building blocks that I've built that I get to reuse amongst different stores. The difference is, or the complexity is, not every store is going to use them in exactly the same way. So I have to, have the ability to go in and edit them. For example, in this spreadsheet view here, we're showing the inventory of the products, and we're also showing the wholesale price and the manufacturer's suggested retail price. And in the Game Steward, most customers only add one product at a time. So we had check boxes to select that product to add to the cart, and it added a quantity of one. Here we actually have quantity selectors because their wholesale customers might want 5 of one pillow and 10 of the next kind of thing. So even though I have these basic building blocks, the nice thing about that is because I built them and I know how they're built, and I've built in the ability to edit them easily, I can go in and customize them for any given store owner's unique needs. So in Sugar Feather, the wholesale customer can log in, quickly see the product collections in bulk, order in bulk, add to the cart, and check out. Similar to that in Animal House Fitness is a subscription product. And subscription is probably the wrong way to say it. So what they're doing here is they sell a fitness product, and they're also going to allow you to access training videos. So it's a fixed price of $20 to purchase the Guided Workouts 10-pack. And you can see here on this train page on the main menu, when I click on that, it takes you to that product page where I can purchase it. But it also says, hey, are you already a member? If you've already purchased the workouts, log in below. So what we're doing is when somebody purchases this product, we use Shopify Flow, and we tag the customer that they purchased the product. So when they log in, so I'm logging in now with the customer that is already tagged to have purchased that training product. I'm going to sign in. And in my account page, I have the Guided Workouts 10-pack. I have a link taking me to that. But also, if I click that same train link at the top menu, which a minute ago took me to a product page, now it's going to take me to the Guided Workouts page. And this page here was optimized for mobile, so all you see is 10 links to the 10 different workouts. And if you click on one of those, it takes you into the video for that day, and you can watch the video and see what the workout is about and check out the other workouts. And the nice thing here is I'm just going to copy this URL, if I log out of the store and go back to that video URL, it's going to require me to log in because I haven't authenticated that I have access to that store. So we added code to this site that at different levels require you to log in to get access to certain pages. And when you log in with access, changes out the menus. And the last one I want to show you today is a pretty complex shopping experience. This one is a Build-A-Box. So a lot of people understand what Build-A-Box is. It's sort of like when you're picking a dozen donuts. You're like, I want one of those and one of those and one of those. So this Build-A-Box, and I built a couple Build-A-Boxes, and each one is a little bit different based on the business needs of the different stores. For example, I built one before for a store that sells macaroons, and they don't manage inventory of their macaroons because people are just picking flavors, and they always have all the flavors in stock, so they don't manage inventory. But this customer, for Spiral Light Candles, we're building a box of candles, and inventory management is super important. So this one I had to go in and add inventory management capabilities to the store or to the Build-A-Box function. So the way the Build-A-Box works is, you can pick your size. We show what the price is going to be as you change the different things. You can pick your quantity. Let's just pick 6. And I now see I think it's 28 or so cents that show up of the candles, and I can add up to 6 of them to this box. I can do 6 of just one type if I wanted to. And when I get to that threshold, it's going to tell me that, hey, you're at your 6. Now you can add it to the cart. I also just got a notification, if you noticed, that I also hit the inventory threshold. So there's only 6 cranberry mangoes available right now. I'm going to go to 24 and just show you that inventory management thing again. I'm just going to click on Sea Glass, and there we go. As I got to 4, I got a little modal that says, hey, limited stock available. So now I know that that's the only inventory I have for that one. And then if I only wanted Sea Glass, I can downgrade to 6. It keeps that quantity there. I can add 2 cranberry mangoes, and then I can add that to the cart. And what it does when it adds it to the cart, it adds each one of these products as a line item, and that way we're managing the inventory well. So as you probably know, in Shopify, you can't have the same SKU twice in your Shopify store, and this store's inventory management system didn't allow us to do some fancy bundling stuff like some of the inventory management systems do. So that's where we came up with this Build-A-Box solution, where when we're actually building the box, if you pick 6 different of these scents, it adds 6 different line items to the cart. And then how we get discount pricing in that scenario is we added an app. So sometimes you use apps when appropriate. We added an app that actually does the discount pricing in the cart for the quantity that they added. If we weren't doing inventory management, then I could have done that in the pricing of the Build-A-Box product itself. But you got to look at each store's unique needs and figure out the best solutions to meet those with all the tools available, including those tools that you build. All right, so that's the demo of things that I've built that most people use an app for, but instead I used a theme customization for and editing the code. I hope these examples provide you a better understanding of what is possible by just editing the theme. So my takeaway for you is that if you're trying to create a specific experience in your store and you can't find the right app, consider creating the experience within the theme. The development costs will be more than a typical app, but you'll gain complete control over the customer experience and keep it on brand. Now, you're probably going to need a Shopify expert to do that, and Shopify Expert's website has lots of recommendations. There's lots of companies out there that can help you with that. So thanks for listening.